Welcome to Champion of the Wild episode 2. This is recorded on the fly, so it's recorded with guests, and the cast this week are the future cast of Abyss. Minus one person because they can't make it tonight, but the rest of them are all from Abyss. So, say your name so we know who you are, and as you say your name, please roll me a D86, please. So, starting at the top, Dragon, D86, please.
Hello, I'm Dragon. I'm part of Penance. You'll probably see me online. I have rolled a 29.
29 is the giant manta ray.
Awesome.
Next we have Freya.
Hello, I'm Freya, and I rolled a 39.
39 is the green anaconda.
Nice.
Next we have Susie Q.
Hi, I'm Susie Q, and I have rolled a 10.
So number 10 is a basilisk lizard.
Hey.
Next we have Tono.
Yes, hi, I am Tono. I am new to the Penance folk, and I have rolled a 54.
54 is a kangaroo.
Oh, now I'm sad because that extremely muscular kangaroo died a few weeks ago.
What kangaroo died?
There's this extremely muscular kangaroo. There were a bunch of photos and videos of him. I think he died a couple months ago.
I saw something about that. It was like an incredibly overly muscular kangaroo.
That's a shame. And finally, Wednesday.
Hello, I'm Wednesday. I am originally from Dum Dum Die, and I rolled a 79.
79 is a gazelle.
Cool.
So we have a kangaroo, a gazelle, a basilisk lizard, an anaconda, and what did you get?
Giant manta ray.
Manta ray. So randomly we need our first category. So Susie, if you please, choose me a 1 to 5.
2.
2. The first event is Sand Transporter. Coaches team their animals up to transport as much sand as possible over a 20-meter distance in 30 minutes. So
Okay.
it's the most quantity of sand delivered across a 20-meter course in 30 minutes. So, since Dragon knows what she's doing, we will start with Dragon. How would the manta ray best approach a delivery of sand?
I first need to ask if there are water provisions.
Water is available and flying is allowed.
Okay. And it was a team of 2?
It is a team of 2, yes. It's you and your animal.
Oh, okay, so it's the coach and the animal. Okay,
Coach and
that's
animal,
fine.
yes.
In which case, because the manta ray has these huge, big, wide, like, swimming wings, I'm going to load up some sand onto the manta ray's back. He's done training for this, so his fins are nice and strong. And essentially we'll fill him up, and then he will swim over, dump it on the other side, come back, fill up another load. And then when it's getting close to the end of the time, we will give him another load of sand, and then I will carry as much as I can as well over to the finish line.
So how is he going to unload the sand?
He just moves vertically and the sand will fall off his back.
So he just sort of flips and the sand rolls off?
Yep, pretty much. He is 4.5 meters wide.
He is.
There can be a lot of sand on there.
If anyone does want the dimensions and or weight of their animal, they are available to you.
So yeah, I think the manta ray is really pretty good for this one. This will definitely play to our strengths. And everyone else is free to argue.
Right, okay. Next on the list, how would the anaconda do at moving sand, and why would it be best?
Well, the anaconda is one of the longest snakes. I believe it can reach up to 17 feet long. They're also fairly quick in water. So what the anaconda would do, it would swallow down just a ton of sand. An anaconda can swallow down an entire jaguar if it wants. So it can fit a lot of sand in its stomach and will swim to the other side. And a snake can do when they feel threatened or just want to get rid of all the stuff in their stomach, they can vomit up all they have in their stomach. So the snake will just simply vomit up all the sand it has swallowed and swim back and fill its fairly large stomach, given it can swallow a jaguar, up again, swim over, vomit it up, and do so for the time allotted.
Well, I think the anaconda here does say can reach up to 5.2 meters long, so that is possible. Would it have any ill effects from vomiting up so many times?
I mean, I don't know if I am not a green anaconda expert. I just do know that snakes can vomit up their food because if they are digesting and they feel threatened, they can vomit it up. So in case they need to make a hasty escape.
Okay. So you would train it to be prepared to throw all the sand back up time and time again?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Next we have Susie, who has the basilisk lizard.
Which is a tiny little lizard.
It's a tiny
Also
lizard, it's
known
about
as
half a meter long.
Yeah, it's also known as the Jesus lizard because it runs across water.
Yes.
So I actually have a question. So it's measured by the quantity of sand that gets transported from like one side of a bank to another or something,
Yes.
yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So is it like, do we all have our own allocated points?
You all have your own lane, effectively.
Is
to
it like
deliver
a
the sand
solid lane? Because the only thing I can think of right away is that I would train the basilisk lizard to do what he does best, which is run really fast across the water, distractingly, doing the best thing something small and squishy can do, which is act like a piece of prey and distract the anaconda snake. And lead him into my lane and vomit up his, and then he'll get there and his training will kick in. And because like the lizard's an expert at hiding, he'll have like ran across the water and the snake will be like, oh, dinner, and like swims after him going, this sand's rubbish. Tries to get the lizard, vomits up the sand because he's been trained to do that, and then he looks around for the lizard and he's gone because he's really good at hiding. And then he sneaks back across.
Can I argue against this?
I love this, but I'm not convinced that the judges would count that as the basilisk lizard moving the sand.
That depends where the sand was at the end, I suppose.
Well, no, because it didn't carry it.
No, but it's moving.
And the anacondas already has a full stomach, so you won't be looking to eat anything more.
Yeah, but he's a snake, so he's easily distracted.
Yeah, but they're not.
He's
Snakes aren't really that
understimulated and
greedy.
trained.
They're not usually that greedy for food if they're full.
They're not. Plus, they're ambush predators who won't chase after something that's running away.
That's too much like work.
Okay, then. I'll train him to put a lead around the anaconda's head and like pull him. And then he's moving
I think
it.
that would be seen as tampering. Okay, well, we will go on to the kangaroo.
While the others have mentioned water, I understood it as water was available for the animals that required it.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
And given that it was only 20 meters that the sand had to be carried, I'm presuming that my kangaroo, with its built-in pouch, can do quite a lot of rounds just jumping across, emptying the pouch, filling it back up.
How much sand do you think a kangaroo could carry in its pouch?
Well, let's see, if they can carry their young, what's the volume of a young kangaroo? What's the volume of the adult one that I...
My question is, do you have a male or a female though? Because the females don't get as big as the males, and the males don't have pouch.
True.
A kangaroo is typically about 80 kilo in weight, and it's usually about 1.8 meters tall, 2.3 meters from top to tail. So it's quite big.
Right, so yeah, I'd put that pouch is capable of carrying, 3, 4, 5 litres of sand.
Probably.
Yeah.
How are you going to get the sand back out of the pouch?
It has paws. I mean, you can, just as you can dig the sand into the pouch, you can dig it out again. How would the manta ray get sand on its back?
It's because it's you and the animal.
Right, so I
So we'd
can,
be working as a team.
yeah, that exactly. I can help empty the pouch with our hands.
Okay.
Well, I guess paws in the kangaroo's case. They don't have thumbs, as far as I know.
No, I don't think they do.
So yeah, just hopping around, not messing with the water where everyone else appears to be.
I don't have much choice.
Okay, and finally, we have the gazelle.
Alrighty, so I have a question. Me as the coach, am I allowed to have props or not?
You can have anything that you would deem suitable.
Okay, great. So my beautiful and graceful gazelle, who runs really fast over the sand, I have trained her to dance so that when she runs sort of not only in the zigzags as you do when you're trying to get away from predators, but kind of also spins a little bit in circles so that the sand sort of comes up, and I will be behind her with a bag collecting the sand as it goes up into the air. And because I work out a lot, I can probably lift about 60 kilograms of sand, which is like equivalent to just over my own body weight, and I will carry it across the finish line.
Okay.
Yeah. This is going to be a difficult one.
Does anyone have any final points to make before we conclude this round?
I feel catching sand out the air with a bag would take a while to get to 60 kilograms.
Yeah, it probably could. But it just
then I
depends on
suppose
how much
there's a
sand
snake.
everybody else would get across.
A snake vomiting up sand.
I mean, I have another idea.
Worth of sand. An entire jaguar's worth of sand.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot.
That's a lot of sand.
That is a lot of sand, but I'm still pretty sure that the manta ray and I could manage 2 or 3 runs at least in the time.
Yeah,
Well,
that would add up quite a lot as well.
There is that whole weight thing.
Well,
Yeah.
if its water is available, the green anaconda is. I think it can reach quite high speeds in water. So if it can swim.
Well,
It
my
might be
other
slower
question
when it's
is,
full.
Yeah, but I mean, is it throwing up outside of the water afterwards?
Yes, the water, sort of region of where the sand would be. Just outside the water, I imagine.
Well, there couldn't be for a manta ray. Maybe it's got like a different box or something to put the sand in at the end of the course. And then
Or I guess the trainer would have to load off the manta ray,
yeah.
which would take time.
Yep, it will take some time.
Okay, so now if everyone can turn to the dice channel, please. So once everyone is ready, please say you're ready.
Ready?
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, vote. The winner by 3 votes to... Yeah, the 3 votes is the anaconda. Next is the manta ray and the kangaroo in equal place with 1. So round 1 goes to the anaconda.
Well done.
Thank you.
Big scary snake.
Okay, so once again, can you please roll me a D86 to get your animal for round 2?
Okay.
Wednesday has got number 22.
The duck.
Is the duck-billed platypus.
Ooh, spicy.
Susie Q has rolled 63,
63.
which is a mute swan.
Just a
Yes.
swan.
Your standard British swan.
Bobby.
And Tono has rolled 58, which is a lion.
Well, hopefully that will be a good animal for whatever the discipline turns out to be.
33 is a giraffe.
Nice.
And
Mean
dragon.
giraffe.
A Nile crocodile.
So we have
African
a
animals.
crocodile, a giraffe, a swan, a lion, and a platypus. Wednesday, please. You can choose me number between 1 and 4.
4, please.
4. You have... This one will be interesting. The egg and spoon race. Animals race over 30 metres while carrying a spoon with an egg balanced on top. If the egg falls, the animal stops until its coach can replace the egg. There is water available and flying is allowed. So, let us start this time with... Let us start with the lion. Why would the lion be best at an egg and spoon race?
It has a fairly large snout, so just to clarify, does the egg and spoon have to be visible?
You have to carry the spoon and the egg has to be balanced on top of the spoon.
Right. So I was wondering, is it possible to just put those things inside the lion's mouth?
You can put the spoon in the lion's mouth, but the egg has to be visible.
Okay. In that case, I think it's just as simple as having the lion carry the spoon in its mouth with the egg balanced on top. And if it ever drops it while I ask coach, pick it up and get it ready again, the lion will roar and bully the other and intimidate the other animals to not move.
So the lion starts scaring other animals if it makes a mistake.
Yes.
It's really grumpy lion making everyone else feel bad for its mistakes.
Also, lions can run pretty fast,
Yeah, but
given that they are hunters. I'm thinking this is a lioness,
Are lions quite dexterous when they run? I mean, could they hold an egg and spoon without the egg
Yes.
falling out?
They actually are quite dexterous if you've seen a lion hunt.
Well, I suspect
I'm not sure about it holding a spoon.
Yeah, I haven't seen one carry a spoon, but yeah, I'd say
I'm not sure about it holding a spoon because of the dental structure.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's kind of iffy.
I mean, even
You know,
nothing has to say the mouth has to be closed. Although, if I could have the lion run with an open mouth with the
The
spoon.
spoon just balanced on its tongue.
Yes.
I imagine it would fall off fairly quickly.
Probably would fall off fairly quickly, but...
It's a highly trained lioness.
Yes.
Okay. Well, next we'll go for the platypus.
Okay, so my duck-billed platypus, because it lays eggs, is very good at handling eggs, and also because it has a duck bill, it's quite sort of flat, sort of able to hold very perfectly balanced. And I would have my platypus walk across the ground, even though it would take quite a long time, just because that way there would be less chance of the egg actually falling off as it sort of waddles along the ground very slowly. And because it's never seen a lion before, it wouldn't be afraid of the grumpy lion because it doesn't know what it is. And if the lion came for it, it would use its claws to get rid of the lion.
Okay. Next, we will have... Let's have the giraffe.
Okay, so giraffes have prehensile tongues and a prehensile upper lip. And I think the tongue is also a very long tongue because they use it to wrap carefully around leaves without pricking themselves with the thorns on the acacia tree that they eat leaves from.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly the tongue is very delicate, very prehensile, so it can easily wrap around a spoon and hold it steady as it walks across to the finish line.
So would a giraffe, are they quite dexterous when they run, or do you think it could, counteract that with how strong its tongue was?
Well, it also has a prehensile upper lip, so if it just keeps the the spoon fairly close to the mouth, the upper lip can sort of steady the egg.
Mm-hmm.
And giraffes are quite graceful. They have a long neck. It can keep its head straight.
Okay. Let's have the swan.
So the swan would be trained to gently hold in its beak the spoon with the egg, and it would take a very gentle sort of waddle off and take off up into the sky carefully, and then fly across to the finish line, thus avoiding the scary lion, the poisonous platypus, and the stomping giraffe.
So how would it be able to make sure that the egg stayed on the spoon while it's trying to run to take off?
We would have practiced this a lot.
I'd also ask, if the egg were to fall, how would you get back up there to give it another egg on the spoon?
He would fly down and land, and then I would pick up the egg and spoon,
Right.
and I can carry it to him.
I think you would lose quite a lot of time doing that.
Swans take quite a big run up to get to the air, don't they?
Yes.
But there was no rule about them being stationary at the
I suppose.
True.
So would you start behind the line and do all the running first, would you?
No, I imagine they'd start on the line with the rest of us. Because they're slow when they're running, but
they take off pretty easy. And again, if there's water, you might do it on the water.
But swans running on the water?
Swans can take off from the water.
Oh,
that's how they usually take off.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Are there water?
Yeah, but they're
Ain't no lion going to bother a swan taking off.
There are water lanes available, yes. Okay.
So, they've been trained to do it. Because they keep their heads pretty still when they're flying along and taking off. That's the whole point.
But is it still enough to hold a spoon containing an egg?
I'm going to hope that it's a good spoon. And
Good spoon. Okay.
failing that, if it's really too difficult, you'll swim pretty fast.
Okay. So finally, we come to the crocodile.
Well, there are two ways in which a Nile crocodile can do this.
Mm-hmm.
The first is potentially just below the surface of the water, and the other will be on land. For both of these, however, the crocodile will not be holding the spoon in its jaw because that's just going to be really, really tricky for it. So we've practiced the crocodile being able to hold the spoon in between some of the ridges near the back of the head. so that he's used to running and swimming with keeping there relatively steady, so the spoon will stay in place and hopefully the egg will stay in place. And if not, it's a lot easier to get the egg back onto a spoon because it's on the back of the head. It's much easier for me to get to.
So you're balancing the spoon on the back of his head?
Yes. And
That's quite
crocodiles are actually scarily fast when they want to be. So
Over a 30-metre
You know the
course, though, how fast will it be?
that's not much over the striking distance.
Yeah,
It'll
30
be
meters.
fine.
Yeah, 30 meters is quite short.
Super quick.
Yeah, it's not very far.
It really depends on how often they drop the egg on the way our animals.
Yeah, how often? Because the water current and the waves might knock the egg off.
Yeah, and on land, crocodiles often run like zigzag, but over that sort of distance, it probably won't be too bad. So we've practiced so that he doesn't need to change direction as often, which means that the egg is more likely to stay on.
This is going to be a whole load of animals just really awkwardly waddling 30 meters.
Yes. Well, in fairness, a Nile crocodile pretty much always waddles. It's just the way the legs attach.
Yeah, they're all going to look so silly.
I've got a quick
No,
question.
but they run quite fast as well. Crocodiles
Yeah.
move quickly both on land and in water.
They
Okay.
They
do.
really do.
Yeah.
What a question, Tono.
Because now that I know it's only a 30 meters long course, how do jumps function here? Because if the egg is dropped during a jump, does that invalidate the position of the animal? Does it have to go back to where the jump
I
started?
think it goes back to where the egg lands. If the egg is dropped forward but lands over the line, for example, it might be accepted, whereas if the egg falls backwards and lands in the middle of a jump, then they'd have to go back to where the egg lands.
Because lions can jump pretty far.
And are these eggs that can break?
Since flyers are allowed, I'm guessing that you can replace eggs if they break.
I'm assuming they're standard eggs.
Swimming animals are in great position then, because those eggs are not going to break, while flying animals would break a lot of eggs.
Yeah, but the animal can't get the egg itself back on, it has to wait for the coach to do it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
I think
You-
either way it's dependent on us as a coach to fix it.
broken eggs do not count as disqualification, is what I'm saying.
No, they don't. Okay.
I have a question. How's the coach going to get the egg back onto the spoon for the giraffe? Is the giraffe going to bend all the way down? Like,
Giraffe will
Gonna
have to
bend
bend all
its
the way
neck
down.
down.
They bring a ladder.
It's gonna lower its head. Now I'm gonna hold
okay,
that.
so if it bends down and then it stands back up with the egg, is there not more chance that the egg is just going to fall off the spoon again? I mean, despite prehensile entire mouth
It's got to be
region.
very gentle rising back up rather than just lurch.
Or could it,
Yeah, it
could it
doesn't- I
just
think
run with the next and with the neck horizontally? Just get that much of an advantage.
That's impossible. No.
Not to mention, the song is 45 centimeters long. It can wrap around the entire spoon and egg.
And hang down. Well, I guess maybe. I don't know. I've never
It'd
seen
be like sticking out the side of its mouth.
I don't
It
know.
is just wrapped the egg and spoon up in that tongue. That spoon and egg is not going anywhere.
Right,
That's
okay.
cheating if it's holding the egg as well.
It is technically on the spoon.
Would anyone see that the giraffe is cheating?
I'm sure there'd be judges everywhere.
Yeah.
Judges will always spot cheating.
Well, if they're set up to judge birds taking part in it.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, so as usual, prepare your answer. Don't hit fire yet, just prepare your answer.
I don't know about this one.
There are a lot of factors here.
Yeah,
I'll also mention, I think giraffes can run like 60 kilometers per hour.
that is pretty
Speedy
fast.
giraffe.
Long legs.
I'm ready.
I mean, if we're talking about top speeds, lions can reach like pretty high speeds as well. I don't know exactly.
Alright, has everyone prepared their answer?
Yeah. Ready,
Yeah.
ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, fire. Okay, so the giraffe takes it with 2 votes. Then the
Giraffe
lion, the
cheated.
crocodile, and the swan have 1. Giraffe wins
I
with
agree
2
that
votes.
giraffe was cheating.
It's not cheating if no one catches you.
I'm not going to argue with a giraffe.
Alright, so if everyone can roll again, please, for the 3rd and potentially final round. We might do a 4th round after, depending on what time we're at. So another round of draws, please. Okay, first is Susie, who got 10.
Again.
Number 10 is a hamster.
Hamster. Yes.
Then we have Wednesday, who drew the 86, which is a whale shark.
That's cool.
Then after that was Freya. Freya got 61. 61 is a giant Pacific octopus.
Nice.
It's a big pool for this event.
We have Tono, who drew 7, who got a fruit bat.
Hamsters and fruit bats against whale sharks and giant octopuses.
Depends on the challenge.
And
Yeah.
It does.
66 is the African elephant. So
Really at the extremes of size here.
And the hamster dress up as a mouse.
I need a choice of fence. So Tono, 1 to 3, please.
1.
Number 1. Oh, okay. Number 1 is a staring contest. Animals must stare into each other's eyes. The first animal to look away, blink, or laugh is the loser. Animals may not touch each other under any circumstances. So we'll start with the hamster.
Have you ever seen a hamster give you a dead eye stare?
Can they outstare the opposition though?
Well, they might be able to. I mean, how would you train a hamster to stare?
How would you train a hamster to stare? It's
By
just-
secret and arcane methods.
So I'm thinking this hamster is a lot, hamsters are pretty short-lived. They don't live very long. So I'm going to petition for the ability to have generational hamsters that I've trained for this. Because I mean, compared to a whale shark that lives, how long do whale sharks live? They live,
Probably
decades?
generations, yeah.
Yeah.
Decades.
So that's a lot of training compared to hamster. It's lucky if it gets 3 years. So, I'm petitioning for generations so I can breed.
You can
Small
breed a race of
rodents.
staring hamsters.
You've bred
Yeah.
hamsters for their staring ability.
Yeah.
Selective
their eye-
breeding at its finest.
Yeah, their eyes just get you see it in sort of poor hamsters and guinea pigs and things that are overly inbred. They get these kind of weird bulgy eyes that are slightly disquieting and they don't blink nearly as often as they should. So I take that trait.
You'd
I would
inbreed
breed
hamsters to
that.
the point they became amazing at staring contests.
Yeah. I'm assuming the prize for this is really awesome. So,
Yes.
that's what I would do. And it would just be able to sit there and outstare whatever it's faced with. Looking like a weird hamster look.
Oh, God.
It would be all white with big red eyes that you think you can see the actual rest of the eyeball, not the white bit, but the bit where the vessels are, just on the very edge.
Right, okay. Next we'll have the elephant.
Okay. Elephants are a very long-lived species, naturally, anyway, and they tend to be quite calm creatures. They would do very well in a staring contest, provided the air wasn't too dry. So if the air had a little bit of humidity in it, they wouldn't need to blink much to wet their eyeballs. So I think an elephant would do really well, actually. You can just stand there and watch.
Stand there, look just quite content in itself, flap its ears.
Yeah, flap its ears, maybe wiggle its trunks, try and make the opposition laugh. I'm pretty sure that they could make the opposition break by laughing. Or at least by distraction. That would totally be a valid tactic, right?
I'm sure
Just
that would
watch
work.
at it and then wiggle the trunk close to them without touching.
What, the whole kind of I'm not touching you thing?
Yeah, pretty much. But to the side so the other animal looks over and breaks eye contact.
Right, so it'll be a sneaky
So-
elephant.
It would be a very calm, but yeah, like that annoying child that you always wanted to punch when you were at school, basically.
It's okay.
But it's not technically breaking any rules.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we have a sneaky elephant. Okay.
A sneaky elephant that doesn't need to blink.
Okay, well, we will then cut to the whale shark.
Okay, so the whale shark is massive and its eyes are placed laterally across its head, giving it quite a wide field of vision. But I'm imagining that the other, participants would have difficult time maintaining eye contact because its eyes are so far apart from each other. The other thing is because it's very slow moving and it's a filter feeder, not only does it always have its mouth open, which could be rather distracting for the other animals because it might be considered almost insulting that it's kind of looking at it with a kind of duh face. But the other thing is that because it's very slow moving, it's probably got a very sort of calm personality. So it wouldn't really be fazed by staring into someone's eyes for long periods of time because, well, what else would it be doing really?
Interesting. Just have this image of this sort of derp face now, just like, hey.
I'm just imagining a whale shark and a hamster trying to have a steering contest. Like, how would that even work? Would you have to put this hamster in a sort of underwater bubble where he's floating?
I mean, we've got 5 animals. How do they pair up for staring?
It's true too, yeah.
It's like a round robin competition. They all have to compete with each other. And then whoever has won the most bouts.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
And there's some very, very clear glass so that the land animals and the ocean animals can be at eye level with each other.
So let's just go to the octopus.
So, see, the very fun thing about cephalopod eyes, because I love this thing, is that they're quite primitive. So they do not possess eyelids. So therefore, the octopus is physically incapable of blinking. It cannot blink.
Well, damn
It doesn't possess eyelids.
It can giggle.
You can look away.
But it could still break eye contact or laugh.
I don't
Laughing octopus
think-
now.
How do octopuses laugh?
An octopus can laugh. It possesses a beak. It can't make laughing noises with that. Not only that, but an octopus can change its color and the texture of its skin. So to distract its opponent, it will raise all its arms up and down and change colors and textures to make it look like other things. So try and startle them, while physically incapable of blinking.
Okay, well, you can't really argue much with that.
I don't know.
I've heard about the evolution of eyes. I love this bit.
Finally, we have the fruit bat.
Right. So, the fruit bat is the one type of bat that does not use echolocation, and so it does not have sensitive eyes. So it will be able to stare. So at least that weakness taken care of. I was thinking it would go for distraction, since if the exact rules are they're not allowed to touch, then the bat would, say it was up against the elephant, flit around the elephant's face, flapping in its eyes, trying to make it blink. While maybe diving towards the hamster, trying to conjure up some
Terror.
some fear, make it
Run away.
Even, I mean, it is bred for staring, so it's probably not going to blink, but it might run off. It is going to be a
Backwards while
challenge.
staring.
It is going to be a challenge to use those tactics against a giant whale shark and a giant octopus.
Saying that, domesticated hamsters don't have much of a survival instinct because my friend's hamster escaped. This was Amy's hamster, do you remember, Izzy?
Oh, God.
And he escaped. And he was loose in the house for 3 days in a house with 3 cats. And he was discovered at the cat's food bowl, eating the cat's biscuits, getting stalked by a cat. And he didn't care. He was like, nom nom nom, nom nom. So I say my hamster will have no survival instinct and won't run away from flying attacks.
I do think this is a tough category for me.
It's made it tougher.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have a question. Do octopi not close their eyes at all?
No, they're physically incapable. They don't have eyelids. What they can do is they can constrict their pupil, but they're always looking because they
Oh,
can't
they're always
close their eyes.
Okay, that's interesting because whale sharks don't have eyelids either, but they can actually pull their eyes back into their heads
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow.
instead of closing them.
And there are also a lot of snakes that have transparent eyelids.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of creatures that have a third eyelid.
Yeah, protect
the one
themselves.
that goes
to
through
protect
the
their eyes
So
from
like
hunting.
in snakes, like they only have the third eyelid and it's fused over, so that they always have like a layer of protection.
Right. So they don't blink at all, or they are always blinking, whichever you choose to believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
if everyone is prepared.
Yeah, I just can't decide between two.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, vote. Oh, it's the octopus by 3-2. Very close between the whale shark and the
Even with the
octopus.
derpy look.
Okay, so we have one final round. In this one, it's choose your own animal. So you can choose any animal you wish. So
Anything you think of, you can
anything you
choose.
can think of. All we have to say is it has to be a real animal that exists today. If everyone can please prepare their answer into chat again.
Oh,
And
I
when I
haven't
say yes, it votes. So
Homo
we've got no one
sapien.
changing their answer.
Homo sapiens not allowed, is it?
You could go with a human person if you want. Might not be the best, but you can go with it.
I mean, with the egg race, I think a human person would have done pretty well. Compared to most of the animals, but yeah.
Okay, if everyone has chosen, then 3, 2, 1, tell me your animal. So, from the top, we have Dragon has a lynx, Tono has an orangutan, Freya has a moose, Susie has a hippo, and Wednesday has an eagle. Can someone choose me a event, please? So, someone choose between 1 and 2.
2.
2. It's a team event,
Oh.
and this will be interesting.
Oh no. That's a bad sign.
In teams of 3 of each animal,
3
against, compete against all other animals in a paintballing contest.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Compete with custom-made paintball guns for each animal. So,
Oh, and did the trainers, are they still involved?
no, it's just the animals. They have custom-made paintball guns, and they have to shoot other animals. So, why would you win a paintballing contest with your group of 3 animals, starting with the moose?
Well, so I'm thinking, if you can set the paintball to just fire at a steady interval,
Mm-hmm.
so just sort of tape, it just sets to fire at a steady interval, and so the moose on its back has like these huge carriers of like these paintball balls that it just fed in tubes into the paintball guns. It has 2 fastened on each antlers. It fires steady at the rate of 1 per 5 or 10 seconds, and then we'll just run around aiming their antlers at the other animals.
Okay. So how would this make them win?
Well, they'll just run around and aim at the other animals. They're really fast and they're big. Maybe they'll trample them,
Okay.
winning by the death of the competition.
Well, why would it need to be paintballs then, and not just regular guns?
Okay.
Have you seen a moose come towards you? I bet if the competition sees a moose, a giant moose, come barreling towards them.
I don't think
Oh,
3
yeah.
hippos would be concerned by 3 mooses. Or 3 moose. I think my 3 hippos would do pretty well. They would have like,
Okay, well, let's go hippo next, so carry on.
yeah, they would have like custom cannonball ones. So they would all have a sort of cannonball paintball thing on their back. So we're talking like big loads, and they would be trained to like load each other's sort of magazines of maybe like 3 or 4, because hippos are pretty big, they're pretty strong. And then they would have like buttons on each other's sides, so that they would bump to each other's sides, and then they would just like fire volleys of these cannons of paintball stuff of paint at all the other animals and just win by sheer brute force.
Brute force. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they would win.
We'll go to the orangutan next.
Well, I think there should be a shoe-in because orangutans have thumbs. So, it would just be a special ops team of 3 highly trained orangutans swinging from building to building or tree to tree with various firearms with paintballs in them that they can then use to take down the opposition. I mean, moose and hippos make fairly big targets. They're not difficult to hit. And yeah, while lynxes and eagles are smaller targets, they can aim because they have thumbs and arms.
Do thumbs help you aim?
I mean, the fact that it can stabilize something that you're holding, rather than just have something strapped to you that you have to try and angle.
Okay.
They're not exactly fast, though.
I actually do not know the speed of an orangutan.
I mean, I think they're sort of pretty silent and stuff, but they're
How would they do
slowish
if you...
and big.
Yeah, if you were undercover, how would they get to you? Because, like, if they can't shoot you from above, they're going to have to come down onto the ground. And if they're down on the ground, they're at a significant disadvantage for mobility.
I mean, that is true. But as far as
I mean,
know,
is it like just a straight up
Yeah.
arena fight, or is there...
But helping with angles and aiming and the like, they could hold their firearms in their feet, because those also have the equivalent of a thumb. I don't know if that... Is that called something else when it's on the foot?
So you're saying like 4 guns, like proper gangster style?
I mean, I don't know how they'd stand. But I guess
Rolling
they
back and
could
forth
have.
with 4 guns, yeah.
If one particular orangutan wanted to, they could. I'd hope I would have coached that impulse out of them, because I don't see how that's effective.
Are you moving around by rolling? Like, are they just rolling?
Okay. So
Maybe there's just one of them carrying 4 guns, and he's like strapped to the back of one of the other ones.
That could work, yes.
okay. So let's hear from Team Eagle.
Okay, so my 3 eagles are handling dual weapons, so they've got sort of revolver type or revolver style paintball guns, and they're dual weapons because their talons are really strong, so they can hold both of them up at the same time. They've also got really good eyes, so nobody could hide from my eagles. They would be able to spot them like in seconds and just like aim and fire because of their excellent eyesight. Also, in terms of getting away, they would just fly away and look very cool doing it because it's evasive maneuvers. It's not like, you know, oh my god, someone's going to shoot me. It's beautiful evasive maneuvers. So there's that. Yeah, so I think the eagles would win.
So swooping down, cascading bullets, and then flying away looking cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally. As you do.
Okay, so we just have to hear from Team Lynx.
Yes. Well, lynx are solitary predators, and like most cats, they're ambush predators. So they're going to be taking up positions separately, find themselves somewhere, like a very small space to squeeze themselves into that they can then not be shot while they're taking aim and firing at the others. They have incredibly strong paws and bite. So we've been able to rig up a way that they can actually fire the gun using the triggers with either paw or jaw movement. And they're incredibly good at hiding. They've got very good sight. And once they do need to change their ambush location, they're expert at moving around incredibly quietly and not being seen. And they camouflage in quite well to most environments.
Okay.
Is there anything said about the actual arena in which the fight takes place?
Nothing said about it, so you could really debate that if you want to.
I think where it is could make a big difference.
Yeah, because like a straight up arena fight would be a lot harder, because like the eagles would just go up and stay up.
Yeah, and just shoot everyone from there.
And we'd struggle. Everyone else would struggle to aim. Whereas if there was like for escape, the orangutan and the lynxes and the buildings, but then also the hippos could just like in a building they could just like find themselves, or landscape they could just put themselves in a corner and fire down the corner or anything that came near them.
I think the lynx have probably got a fairly good shout for being able to fire at the eagles because they're used to chasing birds. They're not usually birds that size or that high up, but they don't usually have long-range weapons on them.
you train these ones too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the eagles would be safe from a lynx.
From the lynx, yeah.
Safe from armed lynx.
I mean, in the same manner,
Armed lynx, yeah.
if this is taking place in a world where you can train lynxes to do paintball, given that orangutans in our world use tools, can use spears to hunt fish, if they're specifically trained for paintball use, I'd say they can aim pretty well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
depends
I don't
on
think-
whether or not they're rolling around.
Yeah, they are not rolling around. That was Nikolai's idea.
All guns.
Rolling around, guns in all four, gangster style.
Can alliances be made? Because, like, I don't know, the hippo would like to propose to the moose and the orangutans.
I mean, we're the coaches.
You know, the orangutans could maybe ride the moose.
That would be terrifying.
I'm up for it. Come on.
Trample everybody. And the hippos would, the hippos would be behind the front line of moose and orangutan and like fire over them with their
Cannons.
yeah.
I am so glad I went for an animal that actually knows how to hide. Distinct
In which
advantage in
case, if there were
paintball.
alliance, if you teamed up the lynx and the eagle, we would be unbeatable.
That would be
unbeatable.
amazing. Yeah. Ready to vote?
Yep.
I don't know. This one just seems like it could go on forever.
This one could. So let's prepare your vote. Let us know when you're good.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, vote. The eagle has it. 3 votes to 2, with eagles and lynx taking it. So,
Definitely an alliance.
on that note of eagles winning, we will draw this second episode of Champion of the Wild to a close. So, say your goodbyes, and if you have anything you wish to plug on the way out, please do it. So, starting with Dragon.
Goodbye, everyone. Come chat to us on social media, and if you use Reddit, we could do with your help. Thanks.
Okay, Freya.
Goodbye. This was a lot of fun. I have nothing to plug.
Susie.
Bye. Had a lot of fun today.
Okay. Tono.
Goodbye. And I have nothing in particular to plug, so just keep listening to Penance stuff.
Yay. And finally, Wednesday.
Cheers, guys. That was so much fun for me. I'm super excited about playing Abyss, so keep a lookout, listen out for that coming up on, I think it's the Penance channel, is that correct?
Yep, it'll
And
be
then
out
also-
hopefully around March at this point.
Okay, cool. So yeah, keep a listen out for that. And then also at Dum Dum Die, give us a listen if you feel like it. Cool,
So-
thank you.
So what is Dum Dum Die? Just give it a quick 2-minute plug for those who've not heard
Okay,
of it.
so Dum Dum Die is a South African all-female homebrew D&D podcast. We basically are playing in Carla Harris's homebrew world, Kalandas, and we're a whole bunch of rather strange characters who happen to have gotten together and are currently trying to save the world in our own sort of misunderstood ways.
Cool. And you're at Dum Dum Die on Twitter and all that, yeah?
Yes, all the socials at Dum Dum Die.
Cool. All right. Well, we will say goodnight there. So thank you very much and good night.